Hey everybody, welcome to a video review of something I've been meaning to do for quite a while now. But this is going to be a video review for the limited run PlayStation Vita cases. So as you guys may know, I am a really big fan of not only the PS Vita, I've had one since 2012, but I'm also a huge fan and supporter of limited run games, which you can actually see all their Vita stuff there, and a few ones right here. So, a couple of months ago, the fine folks finally released their long requested Vita cases in two colors. We have, my god, this is very dark blue, and damn, that's hot pink. So I bought both because I have a problem, and I also have two Vitas. Sorry, two Vitas I don't use, so yes, I have three Vitas altogether. So this is going to be a review going over the cases in particular, as well as how does it compare to other cases, in this case a Vita 1000 model case by Hori, and a Vita 2000 model case by Hori. So we're going to start off with the hot pink. So it's a very nice one. I've put it out on a couple of outings. Pretty standard case. The pink is held up really well. Nothing has kind of rub off. The print job on it is very nice. Really good, sturdy material. Only thing I can really kind of comment on the outside that personally for me doesn't do anything is this came with a clip at the end that I've removed. So if you kind of think of like those like clips that I'm now totally going to blank on the name for, I don't even have them anymore. The way I kind of use my Vita, I just stuff it in a bag, and so that clip to kind of put it on the exterior never really did anything for me. And another thing you may notice is we have a little charm sticking out. So I actually have quite a few little charms for Vita and little things that stick out on the exterior. We're going to open it up. Oh, by the way, in case I didn't show, back is blank. So this is the Vita I have inside, a Vita 2000 model, the Dancing All Night version. And when we open up, you're going to see that there is straps to kind of hold it down. I have found that there's really not a lot of movement that I haven't really needed to, and I feel like if you were taking a really long, rough trip with your Vita, that extra security would be nice, but honestly, through all of my kind of times taking it out and testing it, keeping it in here, the amount of wiggle room is not anything to worry about. And then, let's take that bad boy out again. We have this little slip up here that actually holds the goods. So we have about 10 slots. Unfortunately, they do not all hold games. I think these tiny ones on the edges are either meant for memory cards, which I've never understand why Vita cases have memory cards. I think it's very weird. By the way, this is not actually how I hold my games. In case anyone's wondering, this is like the first 8 limited run games. You can see we got Breach and Clear here, all the way up until I think like Rainbow Moon. This would be a very expensive Vita case to lose, so obviously I'm doing this just to show I'm a big LRG fan on Vita, but yeah. And then you have this little spot up here, which is kind of hard to see, but hopefully, there, the black on black doesn't really help too much, but what are you gonna do? So that is, I've been told that's really like for if you want a charging cable, stuff like that. I don't do anything like that. My Vita charge lasts usually way more than a day. And another kind of thing with that is I would worry about it scraping the cards, maybe, like having the cord maybe pop through, because it's not like they're separated. Like, if it was separated with like another layer of this, I think that might be a little bit better, but obviously this is just a case that's just trying to cater to everybody. But while I have it here, we can kind of show what it would look like if you stuck it in the inside. It's a little weird, but it's nothing too crazy. So when you stick it inside, covers the screen. Hold it like this, so if you're a madman, your Vita won't drop. I'm not gonna lie, just doing that actually made me nervous, so I treat these things like they're my children, for God's sakes. Alright, so we're gonna take it out. As I said, not a huge fan of the straps, but they're not crazy. I mean, they're not like crazy in the way. The only other thing I kind of want to bring up, at least with this, so obviously I'm really big fan of the cases, but my first kind of flaw is I think the extra pouch on top for the cords and stuff could go. I'm, at least personally, doesn't really do anything for me, but I know there are a lot of people who like to stuff as much things as they can in their cases, and this is still compact. I mean, if you compare it to the one I'm going to show later, the Vita 1000, it's probably like 3/4 the size. So obviously it holds a Vita 1000 model. The only other complaint I really had is if you have straps. I'm in a weird case where probably most straps you could just put on the screen. This one's like made out of a hard, sharp acrylic, so I kind of had it sticking out, but this Vita doesn't get a lot of like action outside. The other thing we're going to show is if you have a Vita 1000 model, how well does that hold? So here we have my Vita 1000 model. So let's say you're someone like me who has a hard case on their Vita 1000. Let's see if it fits. System. It, unfortunately, wide enough probably could fit. This hinge is in the way, so it's too tight to close. And then even if you just sandwiched it in there, it's just going to be real uncomfortable. So let's try taking it out of the Hori hard shell. And I do have a Vita 2000 Hori hard shell. I'll show you after this. So here we go. We have the plain Vita 1000 model now. Let's put it in there. Alright, so here we go. Here's your system. Here, just to be even extra, because this thing will never have this again. Fits in with your straps. Closes comfortably. Holds both. And I like it because there is a considerable difference, and not a lot of cases are very friendly to either the 1000 or the 2000 model. But it is nice that this one kind of accommodates that. The only big kicker for me that, honestly, I would make this my new case if only it held the hard case. But obviously, that's an accessory that was very, very limited in terms of people who are kind of getting it and whatnot. So next, before we go on to the next case, we are going to bust out a Danganronpa Vita case really quick, because this is a Vita 2000 case that is actually meant to hold a system. Is actually meant to hold the top charger. Oh, by the way, in case anyone wants to see, let's go put this guy back on. So my original Vita 1000 case that I've had since Persona 4 Golden came out in the West. So with the hard case, the one I have is definitely seen better days, but I mean, I've been using it for almost 6 years now, and it has survived quite a few roughenings, but fits super comfortably with that. Has a pad, only holds 3 games, which is not the best, but I mean, for a case that holds my main Vita, it's totally gets the job done. But back to the LRG cases. Here we have we're going to do a case test and see if we can get the model to hold. So here we have the 2000 model and the Danganronpa that fits in this case very easily. Oh yeah, a quick little thing I will say. This case, fortunately, has this little bump for protection. It's just going to be kind of a pain to see, but holds no games. Fits comfortably. But in the limited run games case, you put it in. Same issue as before. You have the butt kind of sticking out because of that hinge at the top. That hinge is a deal breaker. But obviously, this is such a special case of like you would have like they don't make and sell these protective kind of clamshells in the West. This is really a Japan only thing. So it does not fit unless you specifically get a case. And most of these only came in like basically my Persona 1 came with the soft case and the hard case, as well as my Danganronpa one. So probably will not be an issue for you unless you are the kind of person who is like me and already has that. But either way, so that is the pink one. And the other case we're going to show while also showing off the blue case. Get some dust off that guy. So here we go. It's also held up really well. Only complaint with the design-wise of this one, I feel like a kind of more neon pink. a neon blue similar to the pink would have stood out a little better, but I know obviously bright colors is not for everybody. So here we have my Dragon Quest Vita. It's a 2000 model. Fits the case perfectly. Let's slide it in. Show that off along with all the other extras. So stays in there perfectly fine. Another 8 things of games it can hold. But if you know about this Vita, congratulations, you're a really cool guy. You will know that this Vita came with a cool little accessory. Whoop. It came with this guy's little aux cord dust protector, / really it's just to let the whole world know that if they see you, you're a really big Dragon Quest nerd. Alright. Also, other little thing I'm going to say, the straps, I don't know a confident way of taking them out without feeling like I'm a huge idiot. Alright, so the way that this Vita, here we go, the way that Vita holds the slime, he just kind of stays there. He's not even like the size of half my thumb. It's very, very tiny. But unfortunately, this brings up our problem we had similar to the hinge, where if I have this as my main Vita, you might want to show that off a lot, and our poor slime is going to get chopped off or lost. I will say that is kind of where the top pouch would come in as a nice little lifesaver, because that is where I've had it. I have our little slime guy in here. Not crazy about it though, just because I would like it on there at all times for display, but obviously this is not a Vita that I'm taking out and about. This is more of a Vita that I just have in my collection. So, long and short of it, you've now seen all the cases and how they fit with all my different Vitas. Where do I come down on this? These are great, great, great cases in terms of quality. They hold a lot of games. They will hold like cords and even more stuff like that if you want. My only negative, if you're someone like me who is a really big Vita collector, especially for Vita systems, some of those crazier cases or accessories from Japan that you use that might fit in some of the cases it came with, you might have to either take them off and stuff like that. Basically, you have to make compromises, but that's such a small percentage. Like, the only way I can ding it is by saying it affected me, but it's probably not going to affect you. These cases are limited right now. I think last time I checked, they were somewhere around like 300-400, but I might be wrong. You can pick up a case at limitedrungames.com. I'll have a link in the description below. You can choose between blue or pink. But yeah, besides that, I really appreciated the fact that they made one. It was a cool little collectible to have. It'll be holding my Vitas if they ever do need to move out, outside of just putting them in their boxes. But yeah, let's see. In terms of if I had to recommend this, I would recommend this if you are one of those madmen who after all these years does not have a case, or your case is close to dying and you don't have like a hard case, whether it be Vita 1000 or Vita 2000. Pick this up. They're $10 a piece. Super, super good price. Holds a lot of games. If you're one of those weirdos who carries around multiple memory cards for one Vita, it'll hold up to 4 in each one. Awesome value. Awesome thing. Was not paid to make this review or say that. I'm just a really big, dumb super fan. So I will not give this a number, but I will say I highly recommend these. Blue, little less as much, just mainly because I'm not as crazy about the blue coloring they used. Hot pink, I mean, come on, look at that hot pink. That is hot pink, oh my god. Alright, either way, dumb video aside, this should not have taken that long. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know if you'd like to see more little dumb reviews like this. Otherwise, I'm not 100% sure what I have kind of coming down the pipeline, but I wanted to do this video for a while and hope you guys enjoy it. So, have a good one. Support the case, support limited run games, support everything you love. Have a good one, guys.